Welcome back to Learning Spanish with Mr. A. So what you can see up here is the future tense. Future, okay, we're talking about tomorrow, okay, what's going to happen, what will happen, okay? You see in Spanish when I say what's going to happen, that relates to what we call the near future action, to be going to. And in Spanish, to get to that expression, you have to use the verb to go, to be going to go. You see, ir, I-R. Ir plus a, preposition a, which is a in English, right? But in Spanish, it's the sound a. And then the infinitive, right? For instance, if you want to say, you know that to study in Spanish is estudiar. Repeat after me, estudiar. One more time, come on. Estudiar. Estudiar. Good. Okay, so I'm going to study. What I do here, I take the verb ir that I bring to life. I conjugate the verb ir into the yo form, first singular. Why? Because the subject is I. When you say I, you're in the first singular. Okay, remember? Singular, plural, you know that. By now, this is level 2 tense, okay? If I say first singular, you know immediately that it relates to the subject pronoun I. Okay, so this is what I've got. Your form, first singular of ir is going to be boy, okay? Let's repeat the verb just for the sake of it. Come on. Ir in the simple present tense. Let's go. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. Good. So I'm going to study is going to become yo voy a estudiar. Follow me? It's very simple. But that's the near future action. So it relates to a future action, but one that is close. See? Good. Number 2. The future tense in its regular form. In Spanish, the future tense is extremely easy. Why? You know that in Spanish you have 3 different infinitives. AR, ER, and IL verbs. That's wonderful. Guess what? Usually we have a different ending, right, when you go through the tenses, right, through each of those infinitives. Each one of those infinitives has a different set of endings, usually, right? Well, in the future, and you will see that it's true of the conditional tense as well, okay, the endings that you will have with the AR verbs will be the exact same endings that you will use with the ER and the IL verbs, right? So what I wrote down here is very simple. The regular form of the future tense, just like the irregular actually, stands for the action that will be, not is going to be, will be, okay? Golden rule, add the endings of the future, okay, tense to all 3 infinitives. So I chose nadar, to swim, comer, to eat, vivir, to live, right? Okay, so live your life, living your life. Okay, what you got there is basically a very simple tense. All you do is keep those infinitives as they are, right? And then add the exact same endings as you go down the line with each and every one of those infinitives. So let's go for nadar. Nadaré, nadarás, nadará, nadaremos, nadaréis, nadarán. I was a bit quick, but I want you to understand that in English you say, I will swim. The will is implied as soon as you bring those endings into the stem, well actually into the infinitive. You don't even take anything out of the infinitive, you leave it as it is. And you add those endings and bingo, you've got it made, okay? Open highway. Same thing with comer. Look at this, the exact same endings regardless of the infinitives. That's a home run. That's like straight shot there, you can't go wrong with that. All right, repeat after me. Comeré, comerás, comerá, comeremos, comeréis, comerán. Right? Single R. Okay? Vivir, IL verb, same deal. Watch. Vivire, vivirás, vivirá, viviremos, viviréis, vivirán. Good deal. You okay with that so far? Okay, so the same endings that you see in red here are being reused with every infinitive, whether the verb is an AL verb, EL verb, or IL verb. Be mindful of that. Now, this is when you deal with the regular form of the future tense. Now you can also have the irregular form of the future tense. Irregular, that means that what's going to happen here, you're going to keep the same endings regardless of the infinitive, okay? But with those particular verbs, you're going to have a huge stem change that is going to be very irregular, and you need to know it, okay? The spelling is different. Saber, which you know by now, that saber is to know anything factual, knowledge-based, okay? So, you know, saber in the future is you're not going to say sapere, you're going to say sabre. Sabrás, sabrá, sabremos, sabréis, sabrán, you see? So the 7 things that you got here, you're going to be applying them and adding them onto those irregular stems that you see here. Poner, to put, sendir, or to set, right? Set the table, poner la mesa. It's going to be likewise, DRE, with the accent, of course. All right, see those accents here? They show up all over the place, all throughout the whole conjugation here, the whole thing, except for nosotros, all right? So anyway, this is just like memorization. You get used to it, you practice, and it becomes natural. Okay, look at this here. This here will be, I will is to tell. I will tell will give you dire, yo dire. And you carry on, dirás, dirá, you know, we will tell, diremos, so on and so forth. Hacer, haré. Remember the H is silent. Poder, podré. And you carry on, podrás, podrá, podremos, etc., right? Haber, haber. It's going to give you, habré. And you carry on, habrás, habrá. Querer is a tough one. Why? Because it's going to take a double R within the stem. Very irregular here. Querré. Querrás. Come on, let's do this for fun. Querré. Querrás. Querrá. Querremos. Querréis. Very good. Querrán. Arriba, arriba. Okay? All right. Salir, to leave, is going to be saldré. Saldrás. Saldrá. Saldremos. Saldréis and saldrán. It's going to be the same thing for every one of them. You will just have to remember those irregular stems that you apply here, okay? Tener, tendré, right? And if you look carefully, if you look at all those verbs that you see here, okay, they're going to have that DR showing up more or less, okay? But you got that R showing up there as well. It's just an irregular stem that you need to memorize, okay? Valer, to be worth it. That's not very common in English, you know, but it is in Spanish. When you talk about the price of an object, a book or something, you know, anything. Valdré, yeah, or to be worth, you know, as a matter of fact, the value of something. Okay, so likewise, valdré, valdrás, valdrá, etc. And venir, to come, is going to be likewise. Look at this. The DR shows up again. Vendré, vendrás, vendrá, vendremos, vendréis, and vendrán. So to recap the situation here, you have 3 ways of dealing with the future in Spanish. You have the near future action, where you use ir plus a plus infinitive. You have the simple future tense, where you simply add those endings to the infinitives. It doesn't matter which infinitive you've got, because they will share the same endings. And then finally, you have the irregular form of the future, the irregular future as we call it, which is going to relate to those verbs which really are irregular, okay, as you conjugate them, okay? So, that said, that's it for the video about the future. I hope you understood what I said. If you did not, feel free to, just replay it, play it again, you know, until you get it right. All right? And I want to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video, which will be about the conditional tense, which is like a twin tense of the future. The future is will. The conditional is going to be would, should. You see what I mean? And you will see that it will share the exact same irregular verbs, and it will have the same pattern, different endings though. But that will be for the next instructional video. Until then, I thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you later. Hasta luego.